Good evening, everyone. My name is Navlet Daniels, and today I have in the audience with me Jean, Destiny, and Lisa. Today I'll be talking, for my presentation, I'll be talking about the importance of drinking water. So we've always heard the saying, I am about to die of thirst. And really, we don't think that that's a true statement that we can die of thirst. But yes, we can when it leads to dehydration. We definitely can die of a thirst that causes dehydration. Um, Sometimes we don't think about what water does in the body, but the water does play a great role, and today we're going to be talking about that. We don't think about how water helps the different organs and it keeps the body going. So today we're going to talk about the different areas that water helps in the body. Making sure that we drink enough water is important and vital to our health. We're made up of so much water. Our body is so many percentage, and we're going to get into that and find out how many percentage that our body is made up of, and then we will see the importance of definitely making sure that we get adequate amount of water. So today, the importance of drinking water, and according to medical news today, our body is made up of 60% water, our blood is made up of 90% water. And so we can see again that because it's something that's necessary, it is so much in our body, then we have to make sure that we sustain that water, keeping it up. It is always said that you can go longer without food than you can without water, and that is definitely a true statement. So water plays a very vital purpose in our bodies and making sure that our organs are well supplied. And so we're going to find out today. I wanted to discuss three main points with you. The first one will be how water maintain a healthy body, the dangers of dehydration, and how to get your daily intake. Okay? What does water does to help maintain a healthy body? We see that water helps to dissolve minerals and nutrients. It's good for the skin. It removes waste products from the body. It eliminates kidney stones and keep kidney functioning well. It also prevents water buildup. First, we want to take a look at the fact that it dissolves minerals and nutrients. When we eat our regular food or we take supplements, what the water does, it comes in and it dissolves those nutrients, and then it takes it through our body. So we definitely need water in order to transport the minerals and the nutrients throughout our body. It also serves to take care of our skin. Sometimes we may notice that people look older than they really are. The skin looks a little wrinkled, and that also may come from the fact of lack of water. So when you don't have enough water, the skin is not as plump, it's wrinkled, and you realize that, you know what, I am not getting enough water. So that's another way to recognize if you're not getting enough water. It removes waste product from the body. And what we're talking about when we say waste product, we're talking about all the toxins in our body. It actually eliminates the waste toxins, and so therefore it is definitely important because you can weight the body down with the toxins and there's more sickness and disease from it. It eliminates kidney stones and help keep the kidneys functioning well. So there again, we have to make sure that we are treating the kidneys correctly, because when you do get kidney stones, that just means that the kidneys are working a little harder in order to keep the body in optimal shape. It prevents water buildup, and again, when you get that water buildup, then you're holding excess fluid, and it causes a lot more problem for the body. Water carries oxygen, and we know that our bodies need oxygen in order to survive, and so therefore we have to make sure that we're getting our oxygen, we're getting our water in, because that's one way that the body feeds the cells and the organs through the water that it supplies throughout the body. It takes oxygen and it delivers the nutrients throughout our body while it carries oxygen. And that is one of the main things that we do know we cannot live without, but that we need oxygen in order to survive. Water cushions the brain, the spinal cord, and sensitive tissues. So if you can just imagine, if you didn't have water to cushion the brain every time that you hit your head or something, that the damages that it could cause. Your spinal cord, we know know that it's very sensitive tissues and it needs to be protected, and so therefore we need to make sure that we have enough water. It lubricates the joints. Our joints have 80% fluid, and therefore it needs as much as we possibly can. Just imagine again, if you did not have that in your system, every time that it actually has friction, you'd be in trouble because of the friction that it's causing. It takes care of our saliva and wards off bad breath. It keeps our nose, our eyes, and our mouth moist. So in places that we don't think that we use water in the body, it is definitely being used. It flushes out waste. So if we're looking to lose weight again, then definitely you need to be drinking as much water you can, because that's one of the ways also that you lose weight, by flushing yourself out of the toxins that the fat cells hold on to toxins, and in that case then it's harder to lose weight. As I said before, our cells need water to make sure that it is being able to operate in an optimal way. Next, we're going to talk about the dangers of dehydration. What happens when we are dehydrated? It affects the brain, and I'm sure if you've ever seen someone that is dehydrated, they become confused and sometimes not aware of where they are, because the imbalance of hormones it causes in the brain, and therefore a lot of times that they are very confused and not knowing what they're actually doing. It also, body temperature, it regulates our body temperature. Water actually regulates the body temperature, and so therefore it is best to make sure you keep that body temperature taken care of. There's a thing that it calls homeostasis, and what it does, it helps to keep the hot and the cold when it's time to do so, so that you're not overeating and making yourself sick. Once it's in imbalance, then it bothers the electrolytes, the potassium, and the sodium and the phosphate in your system, and then it can lead to the signals in your body being confused, and that's when seizures come in. So again, it is very important to make sure that we do stay as hydrated as possibly. The kidneys filters at least 120 to 150 quarts of fluids daily, and that is a lot of fluid that's going through the kidneys. So again, when it's been overworked, then that means your kidneys eventually would shut down, because it's going through a lot of filtering, and so it's a matter of making sure that we take care of the kidneys so that it does not become overworked. Another thing that it leads to is urinary tract infection, and a lot of people at times go through that simply just for not drinking enough water. So again, if we want to eliminate these things, then we need to make sure that we are definitely getting as much water that we can. Another thing is it will bother your blood pressure. When you don't have enough water, then it definitely affects the blood pressure, because then the blood gets thicker than normal, and that means your blood pressure is elevated, and that's how people end up sometimes getting high blood pressure. Next, we're going to talk about ways that we can actually get our fruits and vegetables, and through that we can get water intake. Sometimes we tend to think that we can only get our water intake in taking and drinking a lot of water, that most of us aren't willing to just sit and gobble down water. But we can also get our water intake through fruits and vegetables, such as cantaloupe, watermelon, and anything that has a high water content, we can also get that. Then we can also get it through leafy green vegetables, and we can also get our water intake through flavored water. So there are many ways that we can definitely get our intake. And in conclusion, we have learned today that it is important and it's essential to our bodies for us to make sure that we get enough water. We realize that the body is 60% water, and in order to sustain that, then we definitely have to continue to drink as much water and get our intake daily. Water has oxygen in it that carries all the nutrients to the body. Also, to make sure that it takes care of the brain, it keeps away seizures and hypothermia. It helps our joints to keep them supple. It also helps every organ, and it definitely is something that we can do. We can get our our water content in as much as we drink, as much water we want, but then also to remember that we can get that water in by doing fruits and vegetables. The main thing is to remember that we just need to get as much water in. Thank you.